Okay, good evening, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to the call for tonight. And if you can hear me, please put the letter Y in the question box, if you would, please. Hello, Kimberly. Thank you, Lee. Thank you. And I'm going to turn on my screen. Make sure you can see it. All right, very good. If you can see my slides, please let me know. Just put the letter number 1 in the question box. Okay, thank you, Lee. Appreciate that. Okay, so let's get right down to business, and let's dive in. Um, so far, we have been doing e-learning playbook. Now, this is an open session, so this is not a private session. Although I am going to add this to the course, and as long as I can blur out some of the things I'm going to be doing. This video will be part of the course for those of you who are going to have the PLR2 e-learning playbook. That being said, let's go forward here. And this is a special. We're calling this the Learning Center Hackathon. And we're calling that because we're going to build something. And we're just going to kind of take as long as it's going to take. Now, I don't anticipate it's going to take a long time. But if it takes a little longer than usual, we're up for it. Right. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to build out the Learning Center. And just for logistics sake, I want to just make sure that if you don't have e-learning playbook, all you have to do is if you pick up any of our holiday bundles, any of the bundles we've been talking about for the last 2 months, and just email me your receipt. If you picked up any of our bundles, email me your receipt. I'll email you back access to e-learning playbook. Probably in less than 7 days, we'll be releasing the PLR version of the course. So if you have any of the advanced levels of the bundles, then you'll get that automatically. Otherwise, you'll be able to pick up e-learning playbook and you'll be able to pick up the PLR version. All right, so any questions about that, you can hit me after that. There is a Learning Center platform that I've been talking about over the last couple of days. You can pick up that Learning Center platform at theplrshow.com/CZIP. Okay, so let's recap briefly. And obviously, I'm not going to go through everything that we have been talking about in e-learning playbook. I'm just going to kind of give you an overview in case you haven't really been part of the course. So what do we mean by Learning Center? Basically, we're saying it is a way to display and sell a large quantity of your video content. Let's say that you have a lot of video courses. Just as a show of hands, if I were to ask you, how many of you all on this call, you have, let's say, more than 15 PLR video courses or video courses you created yourself? So let's say that if you had to upload 15 courses, how many of you would have, let's say, 15 courses or more? If that's you, put the number 1 in the question box, right? Some of you might have more, right? That's right. Okay, so a learning center is really a way to display and sell a large quantity of that content. And basically what you were doing is you were giving a user you're allowing them to pay one access fee, right? And so they're going to get access to everything that you have, and they're just going to pay one fee. Now, obviously you can do it differently, but the way to set this up and the reason we're doing this is basically to simplify your business model. And basically, when you do that, what are you trying to do? Well, you're not trying to brand the individual videos. You're not trying to revoice videos. You're not trying to add bumpers to videos. All your calls to action and all of your marketing will be directed toward getting people into the learning center and to keep them engaged and paying your monthly fee. So basically what you've done is you have eliminated the need to go outside and to try to uh, and to focus on the minor parts of every little video course that you have. How many of you, if I were to ask you, you're a little overwhelmed with the idea of doing bumpers and rebranding all of the pages and doing all of those things for all of the PLR video courses that you have? So if that's you, put the number 2 in the question box. And I'm the only one who can see your answers. If you're just a little overwhelmed with all that, and that's going to be most of us, right? The idea of taking all of our video courses and then having to redo them all and having to revoice them all and having to change all the graphics and to do all those things and to put them all on pages, some of that stuff really does get to be overwhelming. And so the question is going to be, why would you do that? Why would you build a learning center with your PLR and just not sell the individual titles? Well, one of the things is when you create a learning center, and let's say that you have those 15 video courses, what you're doing is you've automatically created a high ticket product, right? So let's just say that you now have, how many of you all have at this point? You have your own high ticket product. So if you have your own high ticket product, please put the number 3 in the question box. If you don't have one and you like to have one, put the number 4 in the question box, right? So basically, when we upload those video courses to our learning center, what have we done? We have automatically created a high ticket product, right? And the more of the video courses that you have, basically what you're doing is you're saying, if you join my membership or if you join my learning center, I will continue to add courses to my learning center and you can learn from them anytime that you want. And you just pay me a monthly fee. And every time you add a video course to it, basically what you're doing is increasing the value of the entire learning center, right? So basically what you've done is you have basically created a continuity product. So if you create a high ticket product, you can either sell it for something like, let's say you're going to sell it for $297, $397, $497. You can also then say, hey, if you join this, you can pay me monthly, and you can do it at $27, $37, $47. Right? So basically what you've done is you've created a high value continuity product with a lot of content in there. And as long as you're choosing high quality video content, you're going to have happy customers. Now, basically what that allows you to do is that allows you to individualize the learning center. So basically what you're going to do, and we've talked about that in the previous session, we've talked about the ways that you're going to add in your USP to the center as opposed to the individual videos. So basically you're going to start being a marketer, and instead of focusing on doing the tasks of rebranding videos and rebranding pages, you are going to brand your center. It's going to be entirely easier than trying to rebrand an entire set of videos and do that over and over and over again. In some cases, I know that I looked at basically just what I've produced with one person, and they're probably, as of right now, they're probably over, I'd probably say over 70 courses. If you count the upsells, over 100. And so if you're going to try to rebrand all of those, then you're probably going to hit a snag before you actually get to the point where you're selling a higher ticket product. So when we do that, we're individualizing the learning center. Now, here's the thing about this, right? If you wanted to sell the individual titles, you can still do that and have your learning center, because basically what you're doing is you're going to have someone purchase your front end product, which is going to be the individual title, and then as one of your upsells, or it can be the upsell, you can then say, hey, if you want to see more of the same, I can show you even more. I can give you even more instruction, and all you have to do is pay me a monthly fee. Right, now we can get into the sales cycle, and I talked about that in a previous session about how you can create a lot of value and then really load this thing so that it's irresistible in terms of an offer, so that when you approach somebody about paying you monthly, they're going to think twice about not paying you. Right? So again, we're gonna create the value inside the learning center, and we're going to create it so that people will then want to then join us. Okay, so Julius is asking, is it the same as a membership club? That's a great question. Actually, it's a little different than a membership club in terms of the way we're going to set it up. Right? It's a little different from that. Right? That's a great question. Okay, now here's the thing about a learning center. You can build out the center with free tools, and we've been talking about how to do that inside of eLearning Playbook, right? We've been doing that with free tools. However, the only thing that is not free is if you're going to have your videos hosted. And of course, I suggest you use Vimeo. And the reason I suggest you use Vimeo and not YouTube is that YouTube is going to show related videos, and now they do that by default. So there's no more cases where even if you use an unlisted video that they're not going to show related videos. They're showing related videos in every case. So you can't undo that anymore. There used to be a time when you could undo that, and you can place some coding into the URL, and then you'd be able to then avoid having related videos shown. That's not the case anymore. So YouTube shows related videos on all your videos. And in some cases, you can have a competitor's video showing inside of your learning center, which is not what you would want. Right? So that's what we've talked about previously in the session. So let's go ahead and just kind of look at the platform, right? Let's look at the platform. So I'm logged into the platform. And so basically what you're going to do inside of here is you're going to come inside of the My Schools dashboard. Right? And so basically what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and create a school. Okay, so what do we want to call the school? What are we going to call the school? We're going to call the school, let's call it school Thomas Duncan 1. And we're going to give this a URL. Okay, so we're just going to put in the URL. And we're going to skip the phone number for now, or we can put one in here. What the heck? We'll say it's established in 2020. The contact person is going to be Thomas Duncan. We'll now go to the next step. Let's see if I did something here. Let's see if I did something here. Email address is not, oh, they want the email address. That's what they want. Let's see, did I do something? I must have put the email address in here wrong. Where did I put the email address in here? Oh, that's what I did. And we'll put the email address here. And we'll go to the next step. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to upload our logo. If you have a favicon, you can do that. You can also upload your school banner. So let's just grab a logo. I'm just going to grab one that I have here. And let's see. I think I have one here someplace. I'll try that one. That's not going to quite fit, but we'll use the same thing as a banner here. I think they have recommended sizes, right? So I'd have to crop this one. So I'll just crop this for the image. Okay, my school description, video tutorials, but I can put as much as I want. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and click Create New School. Okay, so now my school is created. So now what do I need to do? Well, every school then needs courses, right? And this is where we're going to start adding in our video courses. So what we're going to do here is we're going to create a new course, right? So let's create a new course, and we'll give the course a title. We'll just call this maybe PowerPoint. I'm not sure if that's what we're going to put in there, and we'll just call this How to Use PowerPoint. We will then we will get the category here, call it business. The author is going to be Thomas Duncan. And we've got three templates here. So we can use a blank template, a mini course template, or standard course template. So let's just choose the one in the middle, right? And we'll just do a mini course template for how to use PowerPoint. So we'll click Create Course. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to now we've got our demo section, and every demo section is going to then have its own lecture. So let's call this, how we're going to do this. Let's call this section, let's call it section overview. Actually, just call this the video section. Video instruction, basic. And so we're going to give this a time of 1 week. Right, so there we are. And then we're going to call this first lecture overview. Right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to open up our file. And now what we're going to do is we're going to add in the video. So what we're going to do here is we're going to grab the video. I hope I can still find this on my hard drive. I don't know when the last time was I did PowerPoint, but we'll find it here. PowerPoint. Yeah, I don't know where PowerPoint. Oh, there it is. And let's get the basic videos. Okay. All right, here's the overview video. So we're going to upload it. We can then make it so that people can comment, right? People can comment. So we're going to turn on the comments for this section. I'm going to then click Save and Continue. Okay, so Preston's question is for the lecture. Would I transcribe the video? I might do that. For the sake of time tonight, I won't do it on this call, but I could do that. Right, that'd be a good idea. And again, all that really depends on what your buyers expect. But I think it's a nice extra to add, and it kind of separates you from other people. So yeah, if you can add in the captions to your video. Now again, I would outsource that part. I would not do that. I would make sure that you have a license of, I think it's VidScribe, have your outsourcer be able to do that, and then have them help you to do that. I don't think I would do that. I would have someone else do that. Okay, so I'm going to add in some. If I wanted to add in text, there's a WYSIWYG editor here, and so let's say then that what I'm going to do is I'm going to just write in, this is what the course is about in the overview video. Now, what I could do is I can hyperlink here because it's a WYSIWYG editor. And let's say that what I wanted to do was I wanted to link out to an affiliate link, right? So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to put the affiliate link here. I'm not sure what the is it PowerPoint.com? I don't know, maybe this. Right, so this is just your basic WYSIWYG editor. We can go ahead, we can center this, we can size up the font, or we can determine what the font is and we size it up. Right, nothing, nothing earth-shattering there. We're going to click Save and Continue. What we can now do is we can add in a quiz, right? We can add in a quiz. And basically what we're going to do here is we can write in our quiz question. And we can say, can PowerPoint be used instead of Word? And we can say that the answer is going to be no. And then we'll also give the answer as a yes. And we'll also write it in some cases. Okay. So then we'll just delete that one. We have our three choices, right? And we had our question. So our question is now part of our quiz. If we want to add in some code, we can do that. Right, let's see, did I add that question in there? Okay, now our question is added. Right, so we see our question in there. If you've got some things that you want to add in terms of HTML code, you can do that here. I'm not going to do that for the sake of this, of this tutorial or this lecture. Okay, so let's just close out of this. Right, so we've got our, we've got our lesson done here. And basically, we would just then add in a new lecture for each video. Right, so if I'm going to do, I don't know what the next one is. It is the interface maybe. And I would just go through the same steps for each video. Right, so I'm going to go now and get that video, second one, or video 2. This one is called using the right mouse button. Right, so there's my video. Right, any questions? Any questions so far? Pretty straightforward. How many of you all find this pretty straightforward so far? If you do so far, put the number 5 in the question box. You find it straightforward so far. Okay, good. Okay, nothing, nothing earth-shattering, nothing that'll stop you. Excuse me. Okay, so we're going to set up the pricing for this course, and we've got a couple of different, options for this course. What we can do is we can give this course to the individual for free. Now, there's a reason that you might want to do this, because what you're going to do, let's say that you decide what you're going to do is you're going to give access to the entire course in the entire school. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to have people paying you. So you could set this at free so that you do not have to price an individual course. Right? So if you understand what I mean when I said that, please put the number 6 in the question box. Right? So we could price this course at free so that we can give access to, we're going to give access to access to all the courses. Right? But if you wanted to price this individually inside of this platform, you can do it free. You can do it subscription. You can do a one-time purchase or a payment plan. Right? Right? So you've got all your information in here that you would add in for your pricing. But I'm going to go ahead and set this at free because that's what I want to do for my Learning Center. We'll call this Learning Center Plan. general access. And we're going to add that pricing. That pricing is then going to be available here in this area, right? Okay, so let's go and look at our integrations. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and connect our autoresponder. Let's see, for app integrations, I think we've got to go here first. And we're going to integrate Get Response. So we've got to do here, I've got to do the API key. So let's not do that. I think I can do it directly with Aweber. So let's do Aweber because I think I can connect directly without having to go get my API. I've still got to go get the API. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to do this off screen. And so I'm just going to kind of pull the browser off the screen for a second. If you have any questions while I do that, you can write those questions in. I'm going to go and grab my API key. And while I do that, again, if you have any questions, feel free to write it there in the box while I am doing this. Okay, so I'm now inside of Get Response. And I should be just a few seconds more off screen. Well, maybe more like a minute longer. All right, I'm going to grab my API. Okay, so I think I should be. Okay, I think we are now connected. All right, so I can come back on screen now. We're now connected. And so now that I have this account connected, I can go back now to my area here. And what I can do here is I'm going to refresh by just going back to the pricing area. Then I'm going to come back to integrations. I'm going to choose the app. We'll choose the app. And so now all I have to do is, now that my autoresponder is connected, I can choose a list inside of there. And then I can click connect. So basically now my autoresponder is connected to a specific list inside of this course. Is everybody with me? Okay, so you can connect your autoresponder. Now, if you've got to use a Facebook Pixel or Google Analytics, you can add that here, right? I'm not going to do that during this course. Now, one of the interesting parts to this is that we can also drip out the content, right? So basically, what we can do is we can then drip out the content periodically. We can drip it out on specific days, right? Or we can just have students to complete the courses on their own. And in most cases, that's probably what you're going to do. That's what's there by default, but you do have this option. In terms of a learning center, you're more than likely just going to have it marked as complete. Right now, we can go to the comment section. Right, so we have a comment section. This is where your community is. And if you want to use coupons, you can do that. Right now, we have our students here. And basically what you're going to do here for your learning center, and I think that more than likely what you would do is you're going to add students to your courses pretty much either by bulk import, or you can add them one by one. One by one would not be feasible. You're probably going to be adding them by bulk import if you're going to use this platform, and you're going to have them pay separately. Okay, so Julius's question is, do you recommend to create different schools for internet marketing, personal developments, managerial soft skills? Yes, I would. So um, depending on how you would set it up, I would do them, I would set up separate schools to sell separately. So in other words, if you're going to have separate memberships, then I would set them up separately. Yes. Right? Yep, that's a great question. I would do that. Okay, so Preston's question is, are you going to show how to bundle courses? Okay, can you tell me what you mean by that, Preston? And I'm sure I can, right? So can you just explain a little bit more about what you mean? All right, while you do that, um, I'm going to go and just take a look at certificates. You can do the same. I mean, you can do this also in LearnPress. You can do certificates, and then when the student finishes, right, we can have them certified, right? So basically, you know, you were going to just customize this, right? Now I'm not going to take the time to customize this, but we could. Right? Does that make sense, everybody? So does everybody understand the customization portion? Right. Okay. Yeah. So Preston's question is, um, how would you put together several courses together to sell for one price? That's a great question. So one way to do this, Preston, would be this. Right now, we could we could create another course here for our dashboard, right? Or what we could do is we can create everything inside of one course where our curriculum is going to be um, in one area. So in other words, I would then create a section that would be, let's say, I'm going to do a section that's going to be called PowerPoint. Right? I would do a section called PowerPoint. I'm going to say this is 1 week, 2 weeks. So inside of that section, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a lecture. I'm going to call the lecture video content. And basically what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add in video 1, which is the overview. Save it. I'm then going to come back here. I'm going to add in video 2 and save it. Right? Now you're going to want to make sure that your videos are named so that the customer will be able to look here and they'll be able to see the videos according to the way that you have them there. Right. So Daniel's question is, wouldn't the students enter automatically when the student buys or registers for the course? Yeah. what Preston is asking about is if we're trying to sell multiple, so one access to multiple courses, because that's really what we've been talking about. So if I were going to sell Daniel multiple access to multiple courses, this is one way to do it. And you're right, they would automatically get access. And then what you could do is if you did the whole thing through Coach Zippy, what you could then do is you could just run the platform. You could run the entire platform on Coach Zippy. You could have them purchase their access here, right? So yes, right? They automatically get access. But what you're doing is you're setting up the opportunity for them to get multiple courses, and you're going to do that inside of here. Is everybody with me on what I just did to answer Preston's question? So if you understand what I just did, please put the number 7 in the question box in terms of adding in multiple videos in one place. Right? If you get that. Okay, so if you didn't, if you don't understand, please feel free to ask a question now. If you don't understand what I did. Okay, we looked at certificates. We need to make sure to write in a program overview. Right, so basically, this is our program overview. Maybe we'll write in learn PowerPoint and click save. Okay, so there's a section here for partners, right? You can add in a partner. So let's say then that what you're going to do here is you're going to have someone in here as part of the course. You can add them in. You can do course FAQs here, right? So I'm not going to do that for the sake of time. If you have testimonials for the course, you can add them in. And any custom HTML, you can add that into the course here. Right now, the affiliate platform, I'm not sure that I would use their affiliate platform. I think I would still be using something like Warrior Plus and just sell the access. Um, uh, just because, I mean, it would have to be really established at this point. So I'm not sure I would use this affiliate platform, but it's available to you, right? If you just want to have a private affiliate program, you can have a private affiliate program here, and it's available. So again, this is something I probably would not use as part of this. Right? Any questions so far? Yeah, so Julius's question is, do we have to use drip for the course if a student is paying a monthly fee? No. You can still have it so that they they kind of complete the course and they do it on their own time. So no, you do not have to drip the content for a monthly fee. Yeah, like I said, I mean, the thing about any affiliate network has got to be there's got to be widespread trust on both sides, and then it's also got to be familiar to the customer. And so at this point, I'm just kind of depending on who you were selling to. I don't think I would use a private affiliate program, and that would be the case regardless of who did it. Right? I'm not a big believer in super private affiliate programs. Right? But that's a great point, Daniel. Yep. So any other questions? Okay, so let's go back. Let's publish our course. And let's preview our sales page. right? So here's our sales page, our sales page preview. And I just sent that to you in the question box. I'll send it to you in the chat box. Okay, so pretty much, I mean, you can change any of these things, like you can change these images. And then they've got all of the stuff down here. That's obviously not me. uh, but yeah, so you can customize all these things, right? Pretty straightforward. How many of you all would be comfortable? How many of you all would be comfortable putting up a course with this? Okay, so Kimberly's asking, is there a blog? Yes, there's a blog also. Okay, so Daniel's question is, how would you use affiliate program with Coach Zippy? What you do, Daniel, is you would on the thank you page, you would provide an access link to your to your private course, right? So you would provide the access on the thank you page wherever you put it in Warrior Plus. Okay, so Kimberly's question is, would I recommend something like King Sumo for marketing courses? It can be. I think with King Sumo, you really have to have a real a sense for what you want to do brand wise, and I also think that you should have a pretty decent funnel, right? So I would not just market a single thing, because if you're going to go through all that trouble, you want to make sure that if number one, if somebody doesn't buy, that you have something else for them. Number two, if they buy something and they go through your process, you want to bring them all the way through and maximize your income. Okay, so Kimberly's question is, could you give a free course first, and then upsell them maybe into another course? You could do that. You could do that. I would do that with separate schools. Oh, okay, with King Sumo. Give a free course first and then upsell. I guess um, I'm hesitant to say yes, because I think that when you go that route, you want to. I think it's a lot of trouble to do with one thing, just for one thing. So I would qualify my answer by saying yes, but yes with qualifiers, right? But good question. Okay, any other questions? So this is one way to do a learning center, and obviously, the thing is that it is a paid platform. You're gonna pay for Vimeo anyway, right? So if you pay for Vimeo, you're gonna pay, I don't know, you're gonna pay $240 a year, right? And I guess if you get this now, you won't be paying that. Okay, so Preston is asking, do I have a feel that this platform would best be sold monthly or one-time price? Um, I think you could get away with monthly. Now you're going to have to configure it to make it work that way, right? But I'm pretty sure, I think that you can. There's enough customization here, Preston, where you don't have to do a lot of graphical, I don't know, upgrades, right? You could have some graphics done by a designer, or you can even use some of the graphics you have, and you can make it look decent enough, so that you could justify asking for a monthly price, right? I think you could. Okay, so Daniel's question is, do I prefer Warrior Plus over JVZoo or ClickFunnels? I haven't sold through affiliates before. Um, I currently use Warrior Plus, and I don't use JVZoo as a vendor mainly because, um, I, well, there are a couple of reasons I don't use um, Warrior Plus. I primarily use Stripe as a payment processor, and because of that, the only way affiliates can have their commissions deposited into their wallets immediately would be for me to use Warrior Plus. Now, if I had software, I'd more than likely use JVZoo, but I tend to use Warrior Plus. Now, in terms of ClickFunnels, I don't think the affiliate program is set up for me to create a product and sell as they have something called backpack. I think they're discontinuing that, Daniel. I think they're discontinuing their affiliate, their backpack thing. Let's see. Randy's asking, is there going to be a replay for this? Yes, there will be a replay. You should get it right away. I think within the hour they send out the email. If they don't, then I'll post the replay in the group, in the Facebook group. I'm also going to send it out by email tomorrow. Right. So good question. Okay, so Kimberly's question is, what would be the best way to market these courses if you don't have much of a list? What I would do, Kimberly, is I would create, I would market a maybe a 1 or 2 step funnel where someone's going to buy one course and then get upsold into a learning center where you have multiple courses. And basically, what you're going to be doing is, is kind of getting out to a particular market or niche and start teaching. And so, what I would do is, I would then start training people on the subject that you're going to be sending them to in terms of that uh, first offer. The other thing you could do is, I mean, you could skip that entire process. You could build a learning center, make it into a high ticket product. And what I would suggest and what I've been recommending to people is that you learn the perfect webinar system that Russell Brunson does, and you can drive people to your webinar, right? Where you're going to sell that, you're going to sell the learning center. So you can do one of two things. You can do it as a 2-step funnel where you have lower ticket to the learning center, or you can just sell the learning center outright, and you can drive people to a webinar where you're going to sell it. Right. The only way that I know, the only way that that's ever worked for me is that I have either done one or two things. I have sold products and built my list based on the people becoming part of my list of products that they've bought, and that's only on the Warrior Forum. But if you're not gonna be building a business on the Warrior Forum, I'm sorry, a Warrior Plus or JVZoo, what you're gonna have to do, and I recommend you do, is that you start training in the area that you want to attract customers in. So whatever your LinkedIn following is in, whatever your Facebook following is in, you want to start inviting them to training that you're going to be doing. Because even if you sell a product, you still need to be able to, um, I'd say, engage people, and you really need to be able to serve these people. Because when you sell a product, what you should basically be doing is you should basically be serving the people that are coming part of your list. And so I would then start building the list of people that that you can serve. And the way you find out that you can serve them or they resonate with you is you start training. And you don't need a list to start training. That's how you're going to build your list, in fact. So if you're going to build your list outside of Warrior Plus JVZoo, start training. Start promoting that training on your social media. Start promoting that training offline. Start promoting that training every place you go. And then start doing a weekly webinar, right? Do a weekly webinar, a weekly, weekly YouTube live or weekly Facebook live, where you are basically teaching on a regular basis. Right. Yeah. So you're a healthcare coach. So basically, so are you saying you're teaching people who have home healthcare businesses, and you're trying to help them to be better at marketing their business? Is that what you mean, Kimberly? Why you do that? I'm going to uh, ask Preston. Okay, Preston said, having looked at Coach Zippy, do you have a preference between it and the WordPress option you've taught? Do I have a preference? I don't have a preference in any case, Preston. I think that both have advantages. Um, with WordPress, you are storing your content off-site, and you are storing it in Vimeo. With Coach Zippy, you are storing it on Coach Zippy, right? Yeah. Okay. So Daniel's question is: the weekly webinar is for teaching, not selling. I would teach, Daniel, but I would drive people to a webinar though. I would still have a webinar where I am selling. So basically, I'm talking about 30 minutes. If people want to go deeper into it, then you drive them to a selling webinar. Okay, yep, Kimberly, I get it. Yep, I get it totally. Yeah, so if you're going to teach these people on how to build an online business, right? I think I think a blog is a good start if that's what you're going to do. But I would definitely start inviting people to a Zoom or a GoToWebinar or a live. And you gain the advantage if you bring them on a let's say a YouTube live on a weekly basis, then and you're good about putting your keywords in there, you're good about optimizing your videos. Then what's going to happen is other home care, other health professionals are going to find that video, right? So I would do it so that you are using YouTube's algorithm to your advantage. Right. Yeah. And I actually covered that, Randy, in e-learning playbook. One of the things I talked about, Randy, is the fact that even if you have all of our PLR videos inside of your learning center, you want to have specific content for your niche. So in this case, Kimberly would have, um, in addition to PowerPoint, Facebook, and all the other video courses, she's also going to have content in there, interviews in some cases, content that's going to be specific to those people. So you're right, Randy. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. Right. Good comment. Good question. Okay. Any other questions? Any other questions? Okay. If you have questions, you can hit me in support. You can still pick up the Learning Center platform at theplrshow.com/czip. And what I am going to be doing is I am going to be giving you access to a live course. So basically, you can say that I'm going to be putting your first course for you inside of Coach Zippy. So I'm going to put a URL inside of there, theplrshow.com/PLR training and the number one. And yeah, so you can pick it up there, or you can pick it up there at that email address, right? Either way, you'll be able to get access to the platform. Yeah, Kimberly, you can still get access to the video package. I'm going to be teaching the course live, and then I'm going to edit it and then give it to you as PLR. So I'm going to be recording it generically, as if it's not going to be my name in it. Thank Randy. I appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate your comments. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Do my video courses still exist? Yes. Okay. So I will put in. we have one place to get all of our video courses, plrshow.com, and I'm going to put in a URL. I think this is the right. And so here's the URL for all of our video courses in one place. Okay, so Preston's question is, am I doing any more sessions for e-learning playbook? One more, Preston. Yeah, I've got to just wrap it up. Really, I could have ended after last week when we talked about selling your learning center, but I'm just going to wrap it up with one more session, right? And it's currently scheduled for next Saturday, but it's going to be before that though. So please be watching your inbox because it's going to be different, right? It's going to be different. Right? Any other questions? Right? Appreciate you all's attentiveness, and appreciate you all hanging in there with me. We're coming up on 1 hour, and we're about done. And, I used to do hour-long webinars. I pretty much try to stay close to 30 minutes these days. But this is like the old days. Any other questions? Yeah, okay, so Reggie's question is, am I planning any new PLR video topics for this year? Yes. And I'm not. Yes, is the short answer. They're already planned. It's going to be a new kind of PLR, new kind of video PLR. So it's going to be different from some of the stuff I've done. John and I are going to still do our stuff. I'm going to be doing some stuff personally. It's going to be a little different, Reggie. So I'll tell you more about that as time comes close. But yes, it's going to be. I'm going to be doing them. They're going to be a little different than I've done in the past. Right? Great question. Right? Any other questions? Yeah, a little bit, Crescent. A little bit of cliffhanger. Okay, well, Mrs. Harper's chili is waiting on the table for me. So I am going to go and have some vegetarian chili is what I'm eating these days since I cut meat out of my diet. So yeah, so this is vegetarian chili night. So that's what I'm going to be having. So have a great night, everybody. A pleasant tomorrow. Take care.